Off the record, what's Lil Wayne's classic album?
The Carter 3.
Across the world, Carter 3. I think Carter 2 is better, but Carter 3 would be his classic.
Carter 3 ain't a classic, though.
Let's argue it.
Are you high?
Carter 3 is not a classic.
Carter 3 is a classic.
It's not a classic album, bro.
Mob been saying anything
All right,
lately.
It's not.
Let's save it.
It's not, bro. Let's just. I don't think Wayne has a classic album. I don't.
I'm not even a Wayne fan.
No, I like the Carter 3 is his best album, for sure. I don't think it's a classic album, though. Like, when you start saying classic albums, like,
I'll start with some Wayne. And then
think about the other classic albums we be talking about. And then think about Carter 3. That word classic get thrown around too much. You know what a classic album is, bro?
Put on Mrs. Officer. Shut this nigga up for real. He tripping.
Oh, that's the one you going to? Mrs. Officer?
That's my shit.
Wee. That's what y'all going to?
Bobby Valentino trying to sound like a siren.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we just got to have them type of conversations. Like,
wait, are we recording?
Oh, wait. We was recording?
Oh. Damn.
Oh, let's get into the real conversation.
All right, we gotta sound professional.
Underrated beat. Just Blaze and 1500 nothing. Flip the shit out of this. Had you Rockefeller boys shook when this came out. Y'all was shaking in your chains. Shaking in your button downs.
who was shaking?
The whole squad. You know y'all was nervous when Wayne came out.
Why?
Because he wasn't Wayne from the fucking Hot Boys anymore.
No,
It was fucking Dwayne Carter right there.
Yeah, but Wayne was, come on, Wayne is one of the GOATs. You know that.
Y'all was nervous then.
Nah.
It's a few artists that had y'all shook.
And y'all, you mean like Rockefeller?
Yeah. I think Nelly had y'all a little shook. Why are you laughing? Nelly my fucking diamond.
But when you say shook, what you mean?
A little nervous. It's not so dominant anymore.
I mean, but Jay gave him his props. He
had
was
to.
moving units as M Pimp Juice and us.
I know. And then Wayne came.
Yeah.
And then the company folded.
It was Wayne's fault? Wayne ended the dynasty?
Yeah.
That's
it was
funny.
Wayne. It wasn't Cameron and Jay-Z's Puerto Rico trip.
That trip did end it all.
That's wild. How many relationships do you think have ended because of a Puerto Rico trip?
Well, now that's how relationships start.
That's true.
You got to fly a girl out to Puerto Rico. Yo,
how you get her is how you lose her sometimes.
Sometimes. Actually, a lot of times.
When someone else wants to fly her past Puerto Rico.
You know, like, that's the thing now. Like, dudes, like, the first link up is like a destination, like a vacation.
Yeah, we've been talking about that.
That's scary. I don't know how dudes do that. Like, you don't know what you signing up for.
No.
Being on an island with somebody you just met.
I'll pass.
Nah, I'm cool. I'm totally cool on that.
I wouldn't go to the island with you.
With me?
Yeah. I would. Well, we're on one right now.
I don't even think. Yes, we are on the island right now. But I don't even think we would like see each other if we were like on vacation.
Never would.
Like, it would probably be like in passing, like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, like at the buffet.
We would act like we don't know each other at all.
Anyways,
very weird.
You think Wayne does not have a classic album? I don't know where we started recording.
I don't.
He was saying that.
Because you know what I like to do, man? I like to listen to when people start debating classic albums. Like, the word classic, I don't know if it's thrown around too loosely. Like, pull up the definition of classic.
I agree that classic is thrown around.
It's too loosely, man.
But,
and it's
to draw the line at Carter 3, I think is a bit excessive.
And I like Carter 3 a lot. I just don't know if it's because for me, and music is subjective, it's just my opinion. For me, classic means I keep going back to it. I keep playing
classic.
Right.
This is from Google. The term classic in hip-hop means any album or single that not only separates itself from the bunch, but it does so in such a unique and countercultural fashion.
Well, thank you, Google, for defying something in hip-hop.
In our culture. In our culture, right?
The Webster term for classic, judged over a period of time to be the highest quality and outstanding of its kind. Now, do you think there's classic and then there's time period classic?
See how we start cutting dope?
Because I think there's a lot.
You see how we start cutting dope? Look.
But I think Carter 3 is a classic across the board. I don't think it's a time period classic. Like, I think
Carter 3 is a really good album. I think it's Wayne's, to me, again, it's a subjective, my opinion only. To me, that's Wayne's best album.
I think
but I
that
don't
would be
know
the
if
general
it's
consensus.
a classic album. Like, classic is what I'm just like, I don't know if I can say it's because when y'all say classic, I'm thinking of a lot of other classic albums in hip hop.
Okay, but
And-
I don't think that's fair.
Why? It's hip hop.
Because a classic just means that it's timeless. It was recognized as an extremely good, valuable body of work, and it was. And also, you can go back to Carter 3, and it doesn't sound. It sounds maybe a little dated, but it does. You can still listen to it today and not be like, "Oh my god, we were listening to this shit."
Well, all
Like
the
we
kids
did a
sound
lot
like
of
Wayne,
old music.
so it still holds up. 'Cause all the
Wayne
people-
is definitely the father to a lot of these new dudes now, for
Of
sure.
course.
He definitely birthed a lot of these. So he's a GOAT in that sense. Like he changed the way artists look, the way artists sound, without a doubt. But I don't know if Carter 3 is a classic album.
What
a
would
really
be,
good
What would
album.
be a classic from that era? This was
What's that, 2000?
2008. If I can
Uh,
read
I don't
correctly.
even know what other
Kanye.
albums
What
came
came
out
out that
in
year?
2008.
Graduation or
No, graduation was 07. 808s was 2008. Yeah,
That was 2008?
Mhm.
That's a classic album.
808s and Heartbreaks is a classic. I think defined by what it did later. I
It
don't think when it
changed
came out, we was
music.
like, for sure. That's what I'm saying. It's a classic in that regard.
yeah, when
Mhm.
it came out, people weren't saying it was a classic.
No, they was actually pissed off at Kanye.
Exactly.
Now Carter 3 was the only shit playing at that time.
Well, it's Wayne. And he's
Mhm.
at that time he was everywhere. You couldn't turn on a radio, TV, anything and not hear Wayne.
And I'm not saying because I think Carter 2 is a better album, but if I were to be
Than Carter
objective,
3?
yes, absolutely, without question.
Okay.
But if I had to be objective and just looking overall at what a classic album would be, of course Carter 3. That would be his classic.
His classic.
It's a classic.
Okay. Because you
It's
know
a
there's a
classic.
difference. His classic and a classic is different.
And somebody that's able to deliver when all the hype is around you, and this was the most anticipated shit ever, because after
Mhm.
Carter 2, he blew up,
Mhm.
to then deliver,
Mhm.
this is a classic. What's a classic album to you then?
Don't
Don't say non-Rockefeller.
No, it's not even about that. It's just music that I think an album that you can keep going back to and play top to bottom without skipping any records, no matter what time period. That's a classic album to me.
I feel
Does that
like
mean the kids have to do it too, though? Or just the people from that time period? Because that's a lot of shit, too. Like, there's classics that I deem classics, but probably just my generation does.
No, but then there's albums that came out when I was probably too young to really like understand hip hop and the culture, and I went back and listened to, and I'm like, okay, I see why they call this a classic, because it still sounds good and you can still feel the emotion in the music. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Ice Cube's early shit. Like I didn't understand why people when I was younger, they was like Ice Cube, and I was like, I didn't understand it. And as I started to get a little older, I go back and listen. I'm like, okay, I get it. Cube is one of the best.
But all right, if we're talking about classic, does that have to also like across boundaries of age gaps? Like, for example, I think a kid now would go back to an Ice Cube album and probably not vibe with it musically. It wouldn't feel timeless to them. I'm not saying Ice Cube is not
Mhm.
timeless. Please make sure you get my words correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think if they went back to Life After Death because it had a bit more commercial appeal and is easier to listen to,
Mm-hmm.
I think a kid now could pick up Life After Death and be like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ice Cube, because his goals were a bit different than Big's,
Mm-hmm.
it would be deemed not timeless to a lot of people.
Again, now you talking about the listener, the
Yeah.
type of listener. Like I can't.
But that's
speak
what
for-
deems the classic as a listener.
Yeah, but then a lot of people, like undoubtedly classic albums. A lot of people that listen to music will be like they don't really like that album,
Mhm.
and it's like you look at them like they crazy. Like how do you not like this album?
like we looking at you right now.
Nah, I mean, listen, man. Wayne he's a GOAT. Like there's nobody that can argue that. Like I would never. He's one of the greatest we've ever had. But when I hear people talk about classic albums, like I like Carter 3 a lot, but I
Mhm.
don't know if that's for me if that's a classic album.
Three-peat, Mr. Carter, Millie, Got Money, Comfortable, Dr. Carter, Phone Home, Tie My Hands, Miss Officer, Let the Beat Build, Shoot Me Down, Lollipop, La La, Play with Fire, You Ain't Got Nothing.
And
kind-
Pussy Monster was a extra on
yeah.
that as well.
Not very many skips on that.
But some.
Phone Home annoyed the fuck out of me, but people love that record.
I hate it.
Phone Home was, I thought, going to be the worst record ever, and then I walked outside and everyone was screaming Phone Home. And I was like,
Everybody was ET all of a
everyone
sudden.
was just screaming at the bus stop, Phone Home,
Yeah.
with
No,
a flip phone in their hand.
Wayne is he's definitely one of my favorite rappers ever, one of my favorite artists. But you know, just hearing people talk about classic albums, man. I just start listening to the albums that they call classic, and I'm like, I don't know if this is a classic album. It's a really good album, but I don't know if it's a classic album.
I think time tells that anyways.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Rarely is there the instant
obviously,
classic.
yeah. Instant classic is very rare, where everybody's like, okay, this is a classic. Like
The last two that I could think of would be So Far Gone and Blueprint. I think were the last instant classics that I remember. Maybe College Dropout. What? Man, Graduation, you could make an argument.
yeah,
That was kind of an instant classic.
I feel like it was one that came out a few years ago that everybody was like,
I'm saying rap world.
Oh, rap world. Okay.
Yeah, not saying R&B world. Like Seat at the Table was an instant classic to me. Anti was an instant classic to me. But that's not rap.
And again, this is all subjective. Music is, you know, a matter of opinion and the type of person you are. But yeah, I was just having conversations and I'm, you know, it's my classic albums, classic. It all started off of Timbaland talking about the Weeknd's album, Dawn FX. Is that the name of it? Dawn FM?
Yeah, Dawn FM. People just get excited when shit comes out. And I feel them because I sometimes run to like, nah, it's the greatest shit ever. Yeah. I've been caught up in that before. I've never went to Thriller with it though.
Yeah, like and I understand what Timbaland was because
you don't. No, you don't.
No, listen. I understand because Timbaland he's a producer, so the way he listens is different from the way we listen to music. So I understand the emotion. I think what he was trying to say was this sound and the way the Weeknd put together this album was so different. I think that it's definitely gonna move how a lot of artists make music, the sound. Because the sound was something that I didn't expect at all.
Neither did
This shit sounds like the soundtrack for Midnight Run, the arcade game. Like
it's great 80s shit.
Yeah. So I was like, oh shit. So I understand like Timbaland is a producer. So he's gonna listen different. Things are gonna move him differently as far as sound. But to just throw out Thriller out there like that, and the album was out for 3 days. This is where people gotta relax.
And
man.
the way
like, and it's not fair to the Weeknd to say that because it's like, let the Weeknd be the Weeknd. Like to put him and say, "Oh, this is Thriller." Come on, fam. Like that's not fair to the Weeknd.
When you go back to create, and granted, I think they did it in a very tasteful way. I don't want to start out with shitting on this album because I really do like this Weeknd album a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
But to say when you go back to, you would say it was 80 influenced.
Yeah,
and then to also sound like Michael Jackson, and then go back to the era in which he's from, and then Timbaland says the biggest album ever is in comparison.
Yeah, that's where I have a little bit of it. It's like, come on, man. Like I like this album. I think it sounds great. I think The Weeknd is the epitome of an artist. You know, he gets in the character. He's not afraid to be different. He's not afraid to experiment. Too. Yeah, like he's what an artist should be. The album is really dope. I like it. It wasn't what I was expecting. I know a lot of people want The Weeknd to sound like House of Balloons still. But he's not that guy anymore. Like he's a different person now. And I think that it's not fair to want somebody to sound the same exact way as when you fell in love with them.
I think this was like in Star Wars, and I'm not a big Star Wars fan, so correct me if I'm wrong. Don't they go like in reverse order?
As far as the story?
Kinda,
yeah.
So to me, this like he's doing his career backwards. Like this,
well, he's 90 years old on the album.
This album is like what you do to get to that low part of House of Balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the crazy coke parties that you was at, and then House of Balloons is when you come down and realize how depressed and hurt and how much of an addict you are.
Yeah,
he's going backwards.
This is what his emotions look like.
He's not coming out on top. We're going backwards in the story.
I like it. I think again, it's the sound is for him to put this type of music out now is really like dope to me. I like when artists are not afraid to just be extremely different, but then not be weird. It's not like it's a weird different. You get it, you understand it. The content is still something you can relate to, like the shit he's talking about.
Oh, he definitely I think why he's old on this album cover is because he's actually starting to feel that way in the women he deals with.
They're draining his soul?
Yes. I don't think he can keep up the way. You know, like when you got into your 30s and then you try to go out with people in their 20s and you're just like, okay, I gotta slow down. I'm starting to feel a little older than I thought I was. This whole album sounds like to me that he's trying to keep up with a young girl at the party.
This is
a young girl that doesn't give a fuck who he is, what he does. All that easy pussy isn't working anymore. He's like he's fucked up over this girl that doesn't particularly care about him. She'll let him fuck,
Yeah.
But she don't really care.
Yeah, this music is like when you go to the club and then she wants to go to the after hours and then go
for
to
sure.
breakfast and then like go to yoga and it's like, yo, we haven't been to sleep yet.
Listen, and then he damn near ended the album and this whole storyline with, and then I heard you was married. She's like, so?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
fuck?
I think this album is really good. But yeah, Timbaland got to relax though. He threw Thriller out there way too prematurely. Like, come on, man. That's not fair. That's not fair.
He saw Quincy was on it and was like, oh, it must be.
But see, even that type of shit, those type of interludes.
That's crazy.
Jim Carrey, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yo, I like shit like that, man. And again, I didn't. When we first listened to it, we was calling it Diet Coke. It was kind of like this ain't Coke. This is, you know what I mean? But after living with it over the weekend, like this album is really dope. I like this album a lot.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those live as well. And he's definitely stepped up because for the people that don't remember, when Weeknd first came out, his live show, like Rihanna as well, was very criticized.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, now we know what he's bad at. And he improved tremendously.
No, he's gotten
vocally,
better. Yeah.
dance, just everything.
I noticed that when at his Super Bowl performance, we spoke about that. I was like, yo, he's gotten better with his vocals. His live vocals have gotten extremely better than they were when we first got the Weeknd.
And I think he's less insecure in that and wants to make more upbeat music that is for arenas and is to actually be performed rather than some of the sadder stuff where it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna stand up on stage and, whine.
I definitely would like to see the Weeknd do a visual to all this whole album.
Yeah,
like a movie, but like make it like a music video,
like Thriller.
Exactly. I would like that.
You and Tim, man.
No, not this ain't Thriller. Like, let's be clear. But the fact that it's the 80s sound, and he's such an artist, like his visuals and everything, I would like to see him make a video to all of these, but incorporate it, do it in like kind of like a movie scripted way.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. The 80s with pop music just has not gone away. And I mean that in a good way. It just hasn't, like 90s pop has not returned at all. Like they don't really grab from the 90s pop wise to me very much.
Was 90s?
R&B for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I think a lot of the 90s pop stuff was more leaning into the MTV boy band girl
it was definitely
pop
boy
stuff.
band era.
And that stuff, as much as it's timeless to me, because I was a kid when it happened, no one really grabs from that very much. They grab from 90s R&B.
Yeah.
Pop 80s is
80s pop was synth heavy. It was a different vibe. Like the 90s pop became a little corny. It wasn't as cool as 80s pop.
I think 80s just figured out electronics right away and figured out the best way to do it. And we've been trying for 3 decades
and still haven't
to like, all right, let's try something new. It's like, nah, let's go back. Because even 808s kind of derives a lot of it from fucking 80s. Like RoboCop is an 80s pop song.
Right.
So much of that. So any of you can even hear on a lot of the synths with Donda and some of the drums they use. It's 80s pop music. Like
80s is definitely the bedrock for a lot of the synth sound. If you're gonna try to bring back that synth sound, you're gonna listen to a lot of the 80s pop artists for sure.
And I feel, and if you talk to my dad, that's what killed music. Like if you
pop?
talk to a lot of people, like 80s pop music, like was the divide in music because it went so electronic. And like, of course that came from disco first, but so much 80s kind of put the fucking nail into the board of like, all right, this is here to fucking stay. Electronic music is here.
I think 80s pop inspired 90s R&B in a weird way.
Sure, I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like if you listen to a lot of the 90s R&B, the production on a lot of 90s R&B, it's a lot of synth. The drums are like, a lot of 80s pop.
And even, a lot of shit that they sampled was a lot. Chaka Khan shit was then turned into so much in 90s flips from Bad Boy and all that shit. But yeah, I don't know how we got an 80s tangent, but it was just
about the Weeknd album.
It's just funny that 80s music is still very much the most relevant sound to some degree when it comes to pop music. But I do want to get into no one talking about this album. The Weeknd, you would say, is one of the biggest artists on earth, right?
For sure. Absolutely.
Any genre, one of the biggest
Absolutely.
ever. Not ever, but I'm saying for our time. I didn't see one person talking about this.
Online, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, is The Weeknd the artist that they talk about online though?
Yes.
Yes.
Is he?
100%.
Yes.
People wait. And there wasn't a single on this, was there?
No.
Is this just another? I know we have to always find a way to big up Beyonce. Is this just another way that certain artists, meaning only one, can do the surprise album shit? You would think The Weeknd could do a surprise album. Because this was a week in advance. He posted the album cover and that was it.
Does he? I mean, do you care though if people talk about it, if the album is good?
No, listen, I don't care about numbers at all. I care about if the music is good and that's all that matters. But because we do talk about music on the show so much and so much of our fans are invested in music the way we are, we can see, especially when one of the biggest artists on earth is putting an album out and no one is talking about it.
Yeah.
I saw more people talking about why Drake was taking off Gunna's album, a song that doesn't really exist, being talked about more than an album from one of our biggest artists. That's crazy to me. And I don't know if it's because the times we're in.
Well, could it be because he doesn't have a lot of features? Like, he doesn't have many features on this album. I think he maybe had, 3?
Tyler, Wayne, and I think that might have been it.
Yeah. Like,
well, outside of Jim Carrey and Quincy Jones. But
Thriller didn't have any features.
Yes, it did. Paul McCartney. Lil Wayne and Paul McCartney. Same.
Tyler and Paul. Kind of.
But that shocked me.
Yeah, that's a little shocking for one of the biggest artists of his time not to be, whenever his album drops, not to be talked about. But I really don't, like me, I don't really go online and really pay attention to see who people, like the artists that people are talking about. So I wouldn't know. Like, if you saw that, if you didn't notice that, then I mean that is weird though. It is weird when the biggest artist, one of the biggest artists of his time puts an album out and everybody isn't talking about it.
But that kind of goes back to our classic conversation of impact and what everyone's talking about. Like, can you have a classic album if no one talks about it? I don't care how good the music is.
Can you have a classic album and nobody?
I'm not saying
I don't think
to do
that's
Weeknd,
possible. Yeah, if it's a classic album, everybody's talking about it.
Exactly. So sometimes, yeah, it doesn't just matter how good the music is. People talking about something and impact, which can be tied into sales, fucking matters. And when you don't do the tricks and the bundles and all the marketing tools, who do you really reach? Do you just reach your algorithms?
Right.
Like,
do we follow the Weeknd? Like, is our algorithm and the Weeknd fans like?
That's what I was.
Is it intertwined?
He should. How big he is, should be in everyone's algorithm. He's just that big of an artist where no matter what, it should be there, and it should be at the top of any conversation just by proxy. Like, there's huge artists that aren't even in this genre or a culture that we know when an album comes out. We're not gonna go run and listen. If Taylor Swift puts out an album, you guys are gonna know it exists. Not saying you're gonna run because that's not your shit, but you will know that album is out.
Right.
There's no way you won't.
Right.
I saw that kind of happen with Justin Bieber, the last album. I didn't see anyone really talking about it, and it fucking threw me. I was like, all right, Justin, I know he's kind of been on and off, but he's still Justin fucking Bieber. And The Weeknd too. Like, this felt like, remember when he did that little EP? I forgot the name. It wasn't bad though. I saw Minimal talk about that, and I was like, it was just because it was an EP. Then I went to go look at this thinking this may be the same thing, and it's a full-blown fucking album with incredibly expensive production.
Right.
It says,
and Quincy Jones and Jim Carrey.
It says as of Monday, it was being reported that Dawn FM will move approximately 150,000 to 170,000 copies in its first week out. And he decided not to ship any physical copies out as well.
Well, that's nonetheless incredible to sell 150,000 units. What did he sell in his last one? The Highlights, I don't really count as an album.
Why not?
It was a bunch of old records and like, it was like a compilation of his career.
It wasn't like
I don't count that
album.
as a album at all.
After
Hours, we'll call. Remember, he did the crazy marketing for that shit too. Like, that was the last real Weeknd album to me. And that he went out and did what, Demaris?
The first week's sales to 444,275,000 of those were in pure sales.
So granted, again, I'm really not the numbers guy, and I really am not trying to focus on him selling less. I'm talking more about the impact and what's been going on. And I don't know if that's to do with the times. I don't know if that's to do with Weeknd fans growing up and just have kids and are not paying attention as much. But that's a drastic drop, especially after you do the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's more than half.
Because you would think even at the height, if you're doing the Super Bowl, that means my mom knows who you are. And my mom would be not invested, but if you put an album out, would know about it and would at least want to listen.
She knows your music. Your mom knows the Weeknd's music.
She does,
She
but
knows
I
The
don't think
Weeknd
she
when
knows that
she
the
hears
Weeknd
him.
put out an album,
Right. I see what you mean.
like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before, yeah, I think she knew. I'm just speculating on what's going on.
It's weird, man. Like you just, sometimes when you're, you put an album out and you do almost 500,000 in sales, it's kind of hard to keep that same. That's not, you know what I mean? Like that's
fucking almost impossible.
Yeah, it's like, so is this a fail for him to be doing 170?
No.
His first week? It's
But
not a
well,
fail,
here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know what he spent. I don't know what his expectations were. I don't know what's he on? Republic? What Republic expected out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they did no singles and really no promo, so I don't know what their expectations.
This is-
I don't know if they thought The Weeknd was someone that maybe he's not.
Who is he not though?
Maybe he's not this gigantic pop star.
He is though. We
That
can't.
we
We
once-
know he is. Bro, once you do the Super Bowl, like you're a pop star. You're that. You're that
I
guy.
agree. But if you put out an album and do 150 when you used to do 400 on the last one, you could still be a pop star. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're still an icon, but I don't think you are who we thought you were before.
But like you said, did he have a single for this album?
No,
That could be, part of it.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like that sometimes people just don't know what's coming. They don't know what's happening. Then you drop the album and it's like, oh, so maybe this is gonna be a slow burn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe he'll do, if he does 170 again next week.
Listen, I'm also of the belief that, especially in these times, you can do more with the post rollout than the pre rollout.
Absolutely.
Like you could put the shit out and then let's work the album once it's out rather than working up to it. So this could be a master class in this, and we just don't know yet. But I have to bring up and ask and talk about why it was so quiet around one of the biggest artists
It was definitely
of the last 20 years.
it definitely didn't feel like his album dropped in
No.
comparison to other albums. But the album was still good. I liked it. I didn't think I was gonna like it after the first listen. It just was like, okay, he's on his 80s pop shit right now. But after listening to it over the weekend, I really like this album though.
I do too.
I get it. I understand. That he's different. He's not trying to sound like nobody. He's not trying to duplicate what he already did in his past with other projects. And to me, that's what being an artist is. It's like, let me create something different. Let me be different. Let me separate myself from everything that's going on. I don't want to look like nobody. I don't want to sound like nobody. I want to be myself. So I salute that, period, from any artist once they move on their own and try to do their own thing. But then he delivered. The sound of the album is dope. It's not too far left. I get it. Like I said, it threw me off the first listen. I was like, I wasn't expecting this, but it's good. It's a good album.
Oh, so we are incorrect though.
On
That
what?
happens a lot.
Take my breath. Yeah, right. All the time. It did have a lead single. August 6th, 2021, Take My Breath came out.
I've never heard of that song.
The first time I heard that song was
on the album.
Was on the album.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously when it came out, January 7th, Sacrifice is the next single.
Do we think The Weeknd needs to go back to giving his music to other people?
No,
No, I don't think so.
absolutely not.
I would love to hear other people on this type of sound with him producing it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm still not sick of The Weeknd. I still think he's an incredible fucking artist and is
For sure.
nowhere near his downfall as far as music goes.
No, I
Like,
don't. I'm never gonna look at first week sales
No,
and
of
say,
course
oh,
not.
he's falling off. Like, nah.
No, I'm never that guy. I'm just raising questions on certain stuff
Yeah.
around it. But
I think it'll be a slow burn. I think this album is gonna grow on people. I think once he put because he does he have a video out yet for any of these records?
I believe so.
Because that's what once you put out his visuals, especially.
I'm sure there's one for Sacrifices that came out probably the day the album did, and maybe Take My Breath. I'm not aware of it.
And I think that might be the problem. I don't know if he's doing that on purpose. I don't know if his label is dropping the ball, but I'm not seeing promo for this album.
Between his management and Republic and how they've worked Weekend before, pause if applicable. No, I can't see them dropping the ball per se, because they know what works for him, and that's why I'm curious why
better
they
than
went
us,
this.
so.
Oh, of course, and that's kind of why I'm curious why they went this route. But either way, what you think of Quincy's therapy?
I mean, we seen the documentary.
Mhm.
And
Well, for those that
didn't see the Quincy. Well, if you haven't seen the Quincy Jones documentary, first and foremost, you should absolutely turn that documentary on and watch that. But I mean, that part of it was dope that he used for the album. The interlude with Quincy talking about his relationship with women and how it affected him. He didn't realize that until later on in his life. How his relationship of not having his mother and his mother not being in his life affected his relationship with women. I thought it was dope for the Weeknd to include that in his album. Yeah. Especially with his type of content and the shit that he talks about. I thought that was cool to put that in the album.
especially because in my theory of how this album works with just this long ass coke party, those are the people that are at the coke party.
Yeah,
the people with abandonment issues.
Abandonment issues.
That's
heartbreak.
why I've been to the coke parties.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is. Like, the Weeknd is not giving you the same house of balloons, but it's like it might be helium balloons now. It's not like, you know.
Nah, to go back, House of Balloons is the result of this album. After you do everything on this album, you then get into the depths of what House of Balloons is. That's the result. It's the backwards Star Wars theory on this one. You face all your abandonment issues on House of Balloons after you go through this party chasing the girl that doesn't really give a fuck about you but will still let you beat, and that blows your mind because it's never happened to you before.
Or he went through all of that and now he understands, he recognizes why he went through all of that shit. Like, oh, I'm still heartbroken over this, and I didn't have this in my life, and I'm missing this, and I'm chasing this feeling, and so it could be that too.
Yeah, you're not mad at the girl. You just mad she don't really like you because your mother never liked you.
Exactly, and you don't understand that yet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You haven't identified that yet.
So you already have another family.
Right. That's sick.
Nah, listen, I analyzed this album over the weekend, man.
That's a sick ass thought, man.
I think this is a very intricate track list in how he did everything. I literally pictured this entire album in my mind of the Weeknd just running around the same club. Like just could not figure out why this girl does not like him.
Like track 3 is How Do I Make You Love Me?
Yeah.
Listen to that. How do I make you love me? And then Take My Breath.
Mm-hmm.
Is there someone else? Like, you gotta just look at the titles. Every angel is terrifying.
Have you ever had a girl let you beat and you really liked it, and you're usually the one that leaves the situation. Mm-hmm. Like, you'll fuck a girl and be like, oh, it's not working out, whatever. Mm-hmm. Then that one time happens where you beat and she wants to leave, and you can't figure out why the fuck she wants to leave. So now you become obsessed over it and almost fucking paranoid, and you start liking the girl more because she fucking left and you don't know why.
Yeah, because
that's what this album is about to me.
It's so because of a man's ego. Like, you just want to know why.
Yeah.
Like, you want to know why she's leaving.
Exactly.
She just it's just a kind of like, tell me why you're leaving.
And now I got to make you like me. Now I got to prove some shit.
Yeah.
Which is terrible, and that's just abandonment issues, and that's what Quincy is talking about.
Life is crazy.
And then Jim Carrey at the end is like, I told you regret this shit. Like, you ever stay out to the party till 4, like, I'll stay another hour. Then you get in the cab and you're like, why did I stay out this late?
I think about that as soon as I get to the party. Like, why am I here?
I told myself on the couch, don't get up.
Why am I here? This shit is trash. This shit is terrible. Yeah. Every time I go out, I tell myself that.
For sure. This is the before hours.
When you go out with us, Maul, you have fun.
I have fun. I'm not gonna say I don't have fun, but it definitely be like, yo, we could have did this somewhere else. It could have just been us somewhere. We didn't have to come here with like 200 other people. Yeah,
like venue this much money.
Yeah, it's like, yo, we could have went somewhere else more low key. Like, I'm that guy now. I just hate being around a bunch of, because energy is a real thing, man. And like when you partying with a bunch of, like, somebody said something. They said, yo, if the whole thought of going out, like just the whole process of actually going out to a club is built off of like anxiety. Mm-hmm. Like, from dealing with the person at the door to getting in, to getting a table, all of that. It's like, by the time you go through all of that energy and emotion of dealing with people, you want to drink. You're like, I need a drink.
Yeah.
And then if like you're in the club sober, like I don't drink. So if you're in the club sober, being in the club sober is the worst shit in the world.
Well, you don't be sober though.
I mean, I smoke. But that's a different, though. It's different. It's different than drinking.
I never understood people that could be sober. I can barely be drunk in the club.
Being sober in a club is the worst. Fuck, like the music. You be like, yo, this shit is loud. You notice everything when you sober. Like, yo, this shit is loud. This girl is pissing me off. Like, why is she yelling? Why is she walking around barefoot? Like, somebody's throwing up over here.
What club you at?
Oh, that's every club. That's every night.
I mean, the club crowd is almost like the frequent flyer crowd to me. Like, you just literally at every checkpoint you're complaining about something.
Everything.
And all you're doing is talking to strangers about the similar complaints. And that's how you form bonds. And it's like, why are we doing this in the first place? Why do we continue to do this to ourselves?
It's just weird, man.
Like you go to complain.
Right.
Because at the club, there's more people complaining than having fun.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's mad people looking at everyone going like, oh, these people are so fake. I'm so sick of. Nah, we're all fake.
Yeah.
You're here too.
And now it's nasty because everybody's on their phone. Like you go to a party now, everybody's on their phone. Security's on their phone.
Unless Carl's DJ. Then they're,
Carl-
then they're dancing
Carl
and twerking. They're crying.
No, if Carl...
Talk about how their dad touched them. Like, it's...
No. Rory?
Well, yeah, what party is that?
My New Year's Eve party. It was great.
Oh, my God.
Wait, seriously?
I want to know how Maul would have moved in that party. You would have had fun at that one. Because no one was on their
With
fucking...
women
Like a
talking about their
sniper?
dad touched them?
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
That was a different party.
I'd have been on my phone calling the Uber quick. Like, I know where this is headed.
Listen, you guys put me in a room in L.A. with a girl that told me she just had an abortion. So I don't want to hear from any of you.
That was sick. It be some sick shit going on, D. Like, you don't even see.
I be in my hotel
This is
room
what I'm
sleep.
saying. It be some sick shit going on out here, man.
Well,
Like, I don't ever want to know. Like, just telling somebody just had an abortion is just crazy. Who wants to hear that? Why are you telling us that?
maybe I'm very pro-life.
It's your eyes. She looked in your eyes. And
It's
she
your
felt
eyes.
I have
It's
kind eyes.
sick.
You have kind eyes. Like,
I do
she
have
just
kind
felt
eyes.
like she was in a safe space.
No, people can see... There's people I run into who are like, oh, I can see a certain sadness about you, so I can relate.
Yeah.
I think she saw that and was like, abortion. And I was like, whoa. Whoa, okay.
That was a little fast.
Hey. Tell me about how you guys broke up first.
What's his name?
Your boyfriend, not the baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So who else?
Yo.
Gunna put out an album. I don't know if you heard it, but I was telling
heard it in
Demaris.
passing.
I like it, man. I like the Gunna album.
Before we
and
get
I'm not
into Gunna-
I'm not a huge Gunna fan at all. I mean, I recognize he's talented, but this album I like it. I was very surprised. I was like, yeah, I wasn't gonna listen to it, but I was like, you know what? Let me get into the Gunna wave a little bit and see.
Yeah,
Because I've heard songs and I'm like, he could obviously make records.
for sure.
Tell the audience your hot take.
I don't know if it's a hot take.
I don't think he
Yeah, me
said
and-
it, and I didn't think it was hot.
Yeah, me and Rory spoke about it. It's not a hot take. I said, in talking to Demaris earlier, I said, I think Gunna makes better albums than Lil Baby. He makes better records. Lil Baby is obviously a better rapper.
I think Lil Baby's last album, I have to listen to this Gunna one, was the first time I felt like, oh, Baby's an artist for real. He can make.
No,
But prior to that, I'd always thought, yeah, Gunna makes better songs.
I think
and Baby's
Gunna
just
is
a better rapper.
Gunna's the better song maker. Lil Baby's the better rapper.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy hot
Yeah,
take.
that's
I think
not a
most
hot
people
take.
would
That's
agree.
not a hot take. But listening to this Gunna album, I really like this album a lot. I was really surprised at how good it was. A couple records on there that I really like. Listening to it for the last 3 days, like he put together a really dope project, man. The features are dope. 21 Savage has been. I thought that 21 Savage's verse on Ross's album was probably 21 Savage's best verse, but the
Have
verse,
you heard his verse on Cole's album?
the verse that he
21
got,
Savage could rap, bro. I know,
no, he
I know
can't.
you purists
His
are gonna
album
kill
was
me.
dope. He put out a good album.
21 Savage could rap.
Yeah,
it
no,
may
he
not be
can.
the way you want to hear rap,
Yeah,
but
no, he
21
can.
Savage is saying
I
some
still
shit
think
and rapping.
I still think the verse on Ross album might be his best verse though.
It's a good verse.
Yeah, I think that might be. His best
Revisit
verse.
that Cole one though. He was getting into the same shit Quincy was getting into.
I'm gonna check it
He
out.
would say, "Dog, I only fuck with hoes because that's the bitches that accept me."
Okay.
Like
I like
you, you good girl chick. You
Yeah, you're not for me.
yeah. No, he gets into
This
some real
Gunna album,
shit.
this Gunna album is really good though. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this album.
How's the Chloe record?
The Chloe record was dope. The record with him and Kodak is dope. The record with him and Chris Brown and Young Blues is dope.
I like Young Blue.
The So Far Ahead Empire record is dope. A Lot of Cake was dope.
So it's a classic.
No, I'm not gonna say all that. But this is a good album. This is a good album, man.
So this is basically It Takes a Nation.
No, this is I think that this album.
If Weeknd is Thriller, then
No, see, I
No? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what Timbaland. Again, Timbaland just had a moment.
Yeah,
I do love that the going to the basketball game together rollout still has not died. It's still
As far as the
extremely
artists?
successful. Because I saw Chloe was on the album. I was like, oh shit, Chloe's on the album. And then I was like, oh, they went to the game together. This was already planned.
You know you got to go to the game, sit courtside. You know how it is, man.
Listen, man. Chris Brown and Rihanna put out Ain't Nobody's Business after that shit and then sat courtside on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yo.
That wasn't hard.
How
That
come,
was
yo,
a sick-
how come the picture of them? You know how we have like all those iconic pictures and all that shit of
I
our
want
time.
that shit hanging in my house.
Like that needs to be on an Urban Outfitters t-shirt.
That needs to be in
20
a
years.
MoMA?
Yeah, dog. The two of them at the game on Christmas Day.
like Karuchi home baking cookies. Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Some sick shit going on in our culture, man. Y'all don't sit back and really think about the shit that goes on, man.
Here's the thing. I don't think the celebrities are the sick ones. I think they identify how sick we all are and just cater to our sickness.
Well, the celebrities just find a way. They're like us. They just find a way to talk about how sick they are better, and they make us dance to them saying how sick they are.
But I think that's the celebrity genius at the end of the day. It's not their actual talent. It's identifying what is sick about us and then
Putting it over a
entertaining
nice
us.
melody.
Yeah.
Putting it.
Yeah. Or
Putting
like,
a nice melody.
ain't nobody's business. And then we're going to go to the game
Yeah.
together on Christmas Day, which is like the
When
number one
everybody's watching.
viewed
Yeah, everybody's
shit
watching.
ever
Yeah.
in the fucking Staples Center. That's the sickest thing ever, bro.
Listen, man, you know, the artists, celebrities are humans too, man. They just want to have fun, do their own thing. They just in the spotlight and things get magnified differently. That's all.
And that's how I had to respect Roddy Ricch, because they tried to get him with the at the game rollout with Sweetie.
He was asleep.
Roddy said, "Yo, I was there first."
No, he did. You fucking lying.
His response is like, I sat down first.
He was asleep for some of that game. I was at that game in LA. He was asleep.
You seen Roddy taking
He was
catching some Z's?
I promise y'all, Roddy Ricch was asleep for some of that.
Caught a
that
nap?
game. I'm telling you, he had his shades on, but he was asleep.
Hey, you know what's funny? I don't think he does I don't think he's one of them drug kids either. He was probably just really
Like,
tired.
Tired. And they probably, like you said, they make you go there, sit courtside, like put your big chain on, put some shades
Yeah.
on, and just sit down.
Sit next to Sweetie.
He was asleep. He was definitely asleep.
When they asked him that, and that response, "I was there first," is the funniest fucking response to a seat ever.
That's something you was
But it's
saying.
real though. Like, nigga, I didn't know she was coming. I was here, and then they tapped me and said, "Yo, Sweetie, we're gonna sit Sweetie next to
Yeah,
you."
I
Like,
guess
all
we,
right, cool.
we hit the same scalper out front. What you want from me, bro?
Sweetie hitting the scalper is crazy. Like, yo, you got some court sides available?
Oh man, can since you guys were listening to the Gunna album all weekend, can someone explain what P is to me?
With P?
I saw that all over my timeline. Like, do something dope and then insert P. Like, if you are loyal, that's P. If you don't
I
fuck
don't know
other
that, yeah.
bitches in a relationship, that's
I don't know that slang. I don't know what that means.
Alright,
I don't know what P means. Is it?
Where's Julian when we need
I don't know. Pressure? I don't know.
It seemed like it was a great. They basically took the weekend away from Justin LeBoy. I see what their social team was doing over there with Gunna, and I applaud it. They was just taking the meme game. Yeah, it was quiet for your brother this weekend.
Yeah.
Everything was on Gunna.
Gunna had it on smash.
Yeah, Justin LeBoy and Justin LeMan could not speak at all.
Justin LeMan. That's
like-
a nasty ass name.
That's Biggs. That's Biggs. AKA. You ain't know.
Justin
I'm sitting up
LeMan.
here like, who's Justin LeMan? Like, not big.
But yeah, I just saw those memes
Yeah, we
everywhere.
gotta find out what P means.
So Demaris found out what it meant.
Mm-hmm.
P means player or pimp.
Yeah. Pimp and player. What else was it, Demaris?
Pure.
Pure.
Keep it pure.
Keep it pure. See, you don't keep it pure enough.
How could something mean pure and pimping?
That's the beauty of our culture.
No, it's amazing.
That's the beauty of our culture right there, Rory. We can just take
Because
words.
sometimes keeping it pimping is keeping it pure.
And you got to be play at the same time. You keeping it pure
Yeah.
and pimping.
And player can mean multiple women or not lying to any women.
See, we about to fall into a
I'm
whole.
just saying it can go to a bunch of different ways.
About to fall in a whole different conversation now,
Because
Rory.
keeping a player means you're keeping it real with all of them. But then also a
We
player
gotta
is somebody
start-
that has a bunch of women that he's not keeping it real with.
Yeah, we got to start calling out like when dudes like I'm keeping it player, because a lot of the times you ain't keeping it player. You just saying you keeping it player, but you emotional.
Oh, for sure.
And keeping it player, a big part of keeping it player is not being emotional at all. And I think that's the part that a lot of people forget. Like keeping it player means cool. Like I'm not, no matter how this goes, I'm not gonna get ruffled. My feathers are not gonna ruffle. I'm not gonna get upset. I'm not gonna be angry. I'm not gonna stalk you. I'm not gonna be texting you, blowing your phone up. Keep it cool.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to cop to all of that. But I used to front like I didn't give a fuck and I was player. I give a fuck. I'm not one of those people with anything. I give a fuck and I'm emotional. 100%. I'll admit
all
it.
the time?
I fronted yeah, but I can control my emotions. Does not mean that they're not there and that I don't express them. No, I'm not stalking you. I'm not fucking calling you 30 times. I'm not one of those people just because
Right.
I have things to do that day. But
Right,
it's
right,
like,
right.
that just takes a lot of free time to do that. But I am 100% emotional.
I think
And
that
I think that's a more P thing, if you will. Like, I will admit when I'm hurt, and I will tell you why I'm hurt.
keeping it purely emotional.
Yes, a double P. I'm a
Yeah.
PPP loan.
Yeah. You keeping it
Yeah.
purely emotional. I get
Loan
it.
out my emotions.
I think that it's funny. A lot of the times we listen to the music that we listen to, and a lot of these artists be talking that player shit, and they a pimp, and they got all the women, but it's like when you meet some of the women they deal with in real life, and like they start showing you like text messages, you like, that's not him. That's not him. That can't be him.
That's him.
It happens way more than y'all think it does.
Yeah, I wish people understood that. Though.
And not like I've ever asked for it. Women will just show me.
Yeah.
Because like when you're just friends with women,
Mhm.
you have a different relationship with them.
Absolutely.
And they're also used to men not just wanting to be friends with them.
Mhm.
So then they just look at you like you the gay bestie. And I'm like, yo, I don't need to see that. But that's hysterical.
It's funny when you start like, wait, nah, that's not him.
Yeah, man.
And you're like, oh, you got me fucked up. You just met him like last week.
But
How you got him fucked up in a week?
But you do know, like, artists by definition are the most emotional people on earth. That's
sure.
why that's why it's
the
so
music's so
funny.
good.
For sure.
But that's why rap is so funny, because it's like, all right, you're never supposed to talk about crimes. That's the rule.
Mhm.
And rap is only talking about crimes, or rap is supposed to be this machismo, macho shit.
Mhm.
Yet you're an artist.
Right.
You're an emo fuck. I don't care what you do. If you are into art,
You have to have
there's some emotion
Absolutely.
to be a good artist.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's just the catch-22 of hip hop, back to how words can mean two different things in the culture, is it's great. It's just funny because those are the most emotional people.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you want to say on mic or off. I'll say Future is a emotional motherfucker. Like, he's not this fucking.
But I think we know that. I think the cat's out the bag.
He's
on that
not
one.
this like crazy toxic fuck mad bitches. I don't care. No, he's
No, he's
he
doing
tweets
that.
every last one of his baby
Yeah,
mothers.
he's
constantly.
doing that, but there's also a lot of emotion behind that off the
100%.
mic. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the part that a lot of dudes don't see. It's like, y'all listen to this shit if y'all want to. It sounds great blaring through the speakers in the club and everybody's drinking, smoking. See them text messages though.
What's the Future song on Certified Lover Boy that I love?
Way too sexy.
No, the other one.
Oh,
God.
oh, I thought that
Jesus,
was
no.
your shit. My
The
bad.
other one.
On Certified Lover Boy.
When he says on the hook, she'll fuck me for that AP. She'll fuck me for that
Oh,
AP. She'll fuck
Oh,
me
that's
for that
my
AP.
shit.
No, Future killed that shit. That record is incredible. Into Deep.
That's my
One of my
shit.
favorites off that album. I don't think people are listening to Future.
They're
He's
listening
crying out.
for help.
She'll fuck me for the AP. He's not happy about that. He's disgusted with his life and disgusted with the people that are around him.
Being disgusted that she's fucking for a watch.
Like, y'all are hearing a hook. I am hearing help. Like, help me. Like, look who I'm around. She'll fuck me for that AP. He's crying.
I mean,
He just got some bad bitches that'll fuck me for the AP. I don't think he's crying.
Yes, he is.
and bad bitches.
Yes, he is,
and
100%.
bad bitches is subjective.
Have you ever seen a comedian tell an amazing joke, an amazing bit that has a dark undertone to it?
Mhm.
He didn't react that way when this story happened. Like, he's really hurt about this. He's just making a joke about it. Artists, it may sound good on the record.
Yeah,
It
but
wasn't good when it happened.
Yeah, it's coming from a place of hurt.
He was running around his house upset that all these bitches just want to fuck him for an AP.
I would be upset too.
I'd be livid.
I would be upset too if all these bitches just wanted to fuck me for a watch. I would be like, all right, man, where's my life at?
Like, do I have any value?
Yeah, like I'm here. Like somebody talk to me.
Do you view me of
Somebody
any
talk to
substance?
me.
Yeah, like somebody have a conversation with me. Like get to know me.
Speaking of the player shit, Andre 3000 on Deuces remix.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep it player. I won't tell you all the details. The 7 verses before him told you every detail
Every
you could
detail.
ever fucking think of
Well, that's-
every relationship they were ever in.
Well, that's why 3000 is different because
Oh, no,
knew
he went
that.
on to tell some details. Don't get it twisted.
You know he did, but he heard all those other verses, and he was like, "Oh, that's what y'all doing? All right, I'm not doing that."
Can I give a hot take?
Sure.
And it's one I really
Is it a
feel.
hot take though?
It's not the hot take of Reason saying Fab is better than Andre 3000.
Okay.
We can get into that later. It's not
Okay.
one of those hot takes.
Okay.
Deuce's remix is terrible. To get that crew of legends together and for each of them to spit one of their worst verses ever as a collective is a foot in itself.
See,
Three
now-
Stacks isn't even that good on that.
See, now I gotta listen to it. It's been so long since I heard that
Fab
record.
starts his verse out with Drizzy voice.
Nah, all right.
Yo.
Kanye comes in after. You had to remember the time of when it happened.
Mhm.
Talk about emotional. That whole Amber shit was happening publicly. He came on that Deuces remix, didn't even think about rhyming. You know what? You're a bitch.
Get your shit right off.
You know what?
Get your shit off. Yeah, it's therapy.
Then Drake took that fucking amazing beat and was like, 40. Let's ruin it with some keys.
It was not.
I just
wrong.
landed. I'm sitting in my hotel room.
Nah,
Man,
nah,
get
nah,
Tiger's verse back on this shit.
I can't let you do that. Now I gotta listen to it. I can't
That's
let
why
you do that.
Tiger
'Cause you
talked the
killing
shit he
that.
needs to because he bodied T.I., Drake, Ross, 3 Stacks, Kanye. He bodied everybody on that. Kevin McCall bodied everybody on that.
Kevin McCall, his verse was dope on that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I like Drake's verse. I think Drake
Yeah.
has the best verse on the remix.
I like Drake's verse, sort of. But
I enjoy Kanye's the best.
like when that beat knock and then we just got to stop for the breakdown. This was a classic.
Oh yeah.
If you was around for this, just that intro,
Y'all wasn't outside.
Shit.
this was that shit. Who was on Twitter when that came out?
Ooh,
Me for sure.
ooh, my
All
face.
that bullshit's for the birds.
You ain't nothing but a vulture. You heard Chris getting his shit off.
That had been the most tweeted bar I think of all time. That-
One of them for sure.
IG caption highest ever. But let's get to the actual remix. 'Cause we already know what Chris did on that shit, and we know what Tiger did. Put some respect on his name. Who wants to see Tiger in the verses?
There's a few people. I could name a few.
One thing I could say about Tiger is no matter what, when he comes out with a single, it's gonna be a hit. It's gonna ring
Yeah,
off.
no, he keep a record for sure.
Yeah, no, Tiger's. All right, man. Drake's one of my favorite of all time. But when this beat knock, save this for the last verse. Then
You wasn't feeling this?
We're in our bag. We love this song. Now all of a sudden, we just gotta have this.
He killed that. Rory, you a hater.
This is a whole new song. Just change the song.
But that was hard
Someone
though.
had
Shit was
skipped.
hard.
Yeah, that part was hard.
I like the breakdowns in songs, and that one not on this beat.
that.
And then don't tell me you in your hotel room.
But you gotta realize that was coming off of, I think, was Marvin's Room out back then?
Ooh,
Mm.
ooh, that took me back.
Was that?
I think this was pre Marvin's Room.
I think it was pre-Marvin's
This was
Room, too.
definitely pre Marvin's Room.
Look that up.
Yeah. Because Marvin's Room was like, yeah.
Nah, Drake killed that. Now I'm remembering it.
Come
He
on,
don't
man.
rap like that
Come
no more.
on,
though.
man.
He don't rap like that no more. That
He
flow
rap
is
better.
gone.
Ah.
Look, oh, God, Demaris.
I'll fuck you right, I will.
All right.
Yeah. That was my picture caption
Yo,
for years.
when the niggas say you hit all those curves, don't look me in my eyes.
Don't
You
say
can't
like a verse that says
Yeah.
"ooh" after he hits the brakes.
Yeah, but you can't look me in my eyes after he say it with all them
Fair.
curves. Ooh, like you.
Don't say "ooh" and say you like this verse.
It's funny hearing how niggas used to rap and how they rap now.
He smoked the shit though. I really am just joking. But
Nothing ass bitches.
this is just I don't know.
Got me high.
This felt like around. I
is
think
my
I still
shit.
had PTSD from Swagger Like Us.
So you was kind of off the whole posse.
Yeah, like I was still like, well, all they're gonna do is get together and not do anything good
You-
because they're all gonna be scared. Like, it's competition. I don't really know like what I should do here.
Ross was on that too, right?
Yeah.
Play a little bit of Ross. Like hearing these records now, I be forgetting how it started. But as soon as I hear it,
I just want to get to Ye.
He was so angry.
Yeah,
Fucking issue.
he felt that.
Yeah.
He felt that
yeah,
one.
but it's like, why you
Is
so
that keeping it P? Is he keeping it P?
No, that was not keeping it P at all. That was keeping it D.
Nah, man. He's expressing how he feels.
Yeah, but you come on, fam. That shit wasn't even a hard bar though.
No,
Nah, that
he
shit
didn't
was
rhyme.
hard.
He was just mad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that shit wasn't even hard. That shit was just like, we know who he talking about. Cause that's when those verses was the thing. Like, who he talking about?
Oh yeah, no, this was at the
That
height
was
of
a
that shit.
yeah. Like, oh, who he talking about?
That was like when fucking what's on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy with John Legend.
Blame game.
Blame Game.
Like
Oh
when
my
Blame
God.
Game came out. It was like
Whew.
tearing this poor girl apart. Like
Blame
we
Game
can
was-
see her. This
And
ain't a stranger.
Wasn't Chris Rock on the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That was where my Instagram name, my alias came from. Maris taught him. Came from that. Back in the day. Mhm.
What'd you teach him?
Yeah, what you taught him, Mary?
Man, go ahead.
What you
Listen.
I want to know your
What was
class.
the
What was
talk?
your master class? Let me know. What Demaris was up there teaching? I want to
That's
know.
crazy. That's very funny.
Kanye really came out and said, Jay finally got it through my head, not to run my mouth. And then that nigga spent the rest of his career running his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't listen to Jay.
Me at all. He ain't get it through his head at all.
No.
Not once.
Nope.
Now he actually continued to talk about Jay. He went to talk about Jay instead. Oh, I love
my
Jay. And I'm
God.
talking shit. That Deuces remix was cool, but I will say that just shows how crazy the real Deuces was, because the original is far better than a remix with every legend from that era.
When's the last good Posse cut where everybody actually had good verses? What was it? Touch It?
Touch it.
Touch It.
No. The last one? No.
Well, let's define Posse cut.
It has to be at least more than 4, right?
And,
More than
and,
four.
I
and are
feel
we
like more
making a
than 3.
record or are we rapping?
More than 3.
You said making a record.
Like, there's records now with 4 artists on it. Like, is All of the Lights a Posse cut? Because there's like 7 legends on it, but it's not a Posse cut. I'm
No.
saying like where people were rapping, let's put a hook or a sample in there.
You have to have a verse. Full verse.
Monster?
Oof. Yeah.
Is that a Posse? That's a song. That's not a Posse cut.
All right, so now
That's
I'm
not
confused.
that's not a
So what are we
Posse
talking
cut.
about? So what? All right, so
Banned from TV was a Posse cut. It was a 4-bar loop and they just kept rapping. That's a Posse cut. Reservoir Dogs is a Posse cut. I think A Train is a Posse cut.
So do
So
you
the
think
last
Deuces
good one-
remix is a Posse cut?
When rap went very emotional, yes, that would be considered a Posse cut.
yeah, that was a Posse cut.
That's
even
a
though-
sick Posse cut.
Yeah. The last.
But then again, say it again. Fucking Problems, I guess, would be a Posse cut.
That's a Posse.
If
cut.
fucking
I'm
Problems is
too
a
much of
Posse cut,
I'm being too much of a purist on that.
yeah. I think
Fucking
so.
Problems, I guess, is a Posse cut.
Then
Because we were saying who got who on it, and it was like a club record.
If
I
fucking
feel like we just got one not too long ago. A Posse cut.
We're stupid and don't remember things.
yeah.
No, music comes out every fucking day now. It's hard to fucking remember.
Who would put out an album? I mean, Russ's entire album is a Posse cut.
Yeah.
That's just
No, we
one.
just got one though. That we was,
Monster is definitely a Posse cut. If fucking Problems is a Posse cut, then Monster is a Posse cut.
How? Rick Ross has 2 bars in the beginning, and then you get a Jay, Nicki, and Kanye. Where it's 3 artists. Ross-
doesn't have a whole-
No. He just like growls and then it gets in Kanye's verse. It
we
was
just
like
got
it
a
was like an
Posse cut
intro.
not too long ago, but I can't remember. But Deuces remix is one of the most legendary Posse cuts though.
Most emotional Posse cut.
Oh, it's
gotta be over
emotional
4,
for
though.
sure.
It's
for
got to be
sure.
over 4 though. Well, I don't know. Would the One Blood remix be the longest
Oh
Posse
my
cut of all time?
God. That's more than a Posse cut.
Only Game would be the one to pull that off.
How long is that? How long is that record?
An hour and a half
That record
I'm not even
has to be 2
exaggerating.
days long at least.
for sure.
You
could
can
really
go
run
to
that.
sleep and
He said
wake up
2
and
days
niggas.
long.
You go to sleep, wake up, niggas is still rapping. You're like, all right, fam, I'm cool.
Listen, if Sirius give us a real radio show to fill up the first week, I'm just playing One Blood remix. I'm gonna leave the studio.
That's all you need. Just play One Blood, leave, go on vacation, come back. It'll be 2 minutes left in the record for sure.
You could probably still discover new rappers from that today.
Off the One Blood,
remix.
Game was calling everybody for a verse.
Listen, that shit, and he did that on purpose. Unfortunately, we
definitely
had to
gotta-
hear a Millie from every rapper that we didn't want to hear from.
Oh,
Would a Millie be
the Millie
considered a
days.
Posse cut?
No, it was just Wayne, and then everyone decided to take the beat and rap over it. Wayne didn't ask nobody to do that shit. No remix.
Corey Guns was on that, right?
No, he was on 6
No,
foot,
that
7
was
foot.
6
Oh,
foot.
6 foot 7.
God,
Okay.
y'all are bringing me back.
To when he was teaching him.
Corey got off on that.
Corey did.
He got off
I
on
think
that.
6 foot
did.
7 foot is better than a Millie, but that's just me.
It is.
I do too, yeah.
Okay, all right, that's not a hot take.
He went
No,
the fuck
hell
off.
no, that ain't no
He
hot
He went
take.
the
Sorry.
fuck off.
Fuck no.
I apologize.
That's definitely not a hot take.
No, Corey definitely went off on that. But yeah, all right. So we figured out what P is. I'm still sticking with Deuces remix being very underwhelming. When do y'all go back to Deuces remix?
I play it regularly.
I haven't heard that record in a long time.
I play it
I'm not gonna lie.
regularly.
You talking about it definitely brought up like a lot of old. Like I remember where I was at when that shit came out. What was going on? What everybody was wearing, what the fashion looked like. That's when G-Shocks was going crazy.
What?
That was G-Shock era.
Every color. And the fake ones look real.
Yeah.
And they were so cheap you didn't need to
Wearing
have
a
a fake one.
G-Shock is...
Nah, they had the fake G-Shocks.
No, I know they had them.
But I was in high
Okay,
school,
But
so
wearing
we
a
could
fake
afford
G-Shock
shit.
is crazy.
Yeah, but all right, how old were you when G-Shocks came out? Not when they came out, but when they were like repopping again.
No, 2010?
10, yeah.
I was 28, 29.
Yeah. Some of us were 18 and, you know, maybe didn't have much money.
Mm-hmm.
So we bought fake G-Shocks from the mall or from Canal Street.
That's just crazy though. Wearing a fake G-Shock.
It's crazy.
Because how much was G-Shock?
$80 at most.
Yeah, like I saw. So wearing a fake one, like come on, fam. You know why I don't understand
But
people wearing fake shit.
They were the only watch that was fake that looked identical because G-Shocks are plastic.
Yeah, that's all I'm
and
saying. That's
rubber.
why it doesn't wearing a fake G-Shock
So
is
what,
almost
was it
pointless.
really fake?
Yeah, like exactly. That's what I'm about to say. How do you even know? But
Exactly.
I don't understand why people wear fake shit because it's like why just don't wear it.
Just don't buy it. I
Yeah,
hate it.
like what the
Just
fuck?
don't
I'm
is
buy
with
it.
that too.
What is the point of
I'd rather wear a white tee.
that's a mental disease. Wearing fake shit is a mental disease.
It's a Quincy Jones abandonment
It's bro.
shit.
Just
It's
don't
validation.
wear it. Why are you wearing that shit?
Well, jewelry, I don't understand it, but I do get it. The rich people that wear fake jewelry, I get it.
I don't.
Here's why I get it.
I know what you mean,
Here's
but
why I
that's still
get
stupid.
it.
I know what you
I
mean.
wouldn't do it, but I get it.
Because you get it because they have the money, obviously, to buy it.
On top of that, you're a target.
Yeah.
Someone's going for it. If you lose that on a night out,
Just
fucking
don't wear
well.
it.
well, some of us are not tough and we want to wear jewelry more.
I remember my homeboy was in town visiting. I won't say his name, but he had on like a really, really expensive watch. The watch was probably about $70,000. And but it was no diamonds. It was just like, you know, one of those type of watches. It was just a plain Audemars. He wants
Did a girl fuck him for the AP? Is that what happened?
probably.
Okay.
He wants me to walk with him through Harlem, through the projects. He's like, yo, come on, let's walk over there. Let's go see. I'm like, fam, all right, we gonna get in the car. Like, I'm not walking with you through no projects. He like, well, I'm like, bro, you got a $70,000 watch on.
I'm not scared. I'm smart.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, what are you? He like, yo, but it's no diamonds. Nobody gonna know. I'm like, bro, you got the streets twisted.
Word.
And he didn't understand. Like, I'm like, bro, you have a $70,000 watch on. Like, but my thing is,
So you lined him.
no, hell no, I would never do shit like that. But
That's
my
not
thing
Pete.
was,
That's not
if somebody, like you said, wearing a fake one because if you get robbed, but it's like,
Yeah.
why even wear it?
Well, then that's the embarrassing part when the person that robbed you knows how to use the internet,
Mhm.
and now you have to deal with, I really robbed this guy for some fake shit.
Yeah, but because you know the person has money, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
But my thing is, you just don't wear anything at all. Like, that's why I never understood people wearing fake watches and jewelry or fake clothes. Because it's like, bro, you could wear a lot of other regular shit and still look good.
But I think just with their success rate of wearing fake shit and the things and attention that came to them makes them think I should just do this moving forward until the time comes that they're robbed and everyone finds out it's fake. Like even like
Can't
my
be
favorite
caught, man.
Ross bar is on that shit when he said to Birdman, I found out your watch was fake. And then he doesn't even grunt.
It
He
broke my
sighs.
heart.
Like he sighs. Like I felt Ross. And at that time, Birdman was a billionaire.
Yeah, but it's still like it goes back to what I'm saying. Why even have anything fake when you got that type of money? Just don't have it at all.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like it's like people know you got money. You don't need to wear a fake watch because you might get robbed. So
Yeah.
let them rob you for some fake shit. Like just don't wear nothing.
Fam, I drive a Mazda still.
Right.
And it's gonna remain that
Hold
way.
up, the Mozzie spin the block just as well
Because
as
I
a
still
Ferrari.
go to Harlem.
Yeah. Ain't nobody gonna rob you out. You safe in Harlem, man.
I'm aware I'm safe. in
Harlem
Oh,
is very.
shit.
Harlem is a very. Well, now hold on. There's still certain blocks that
Yeah.
how niggas be doing that shit, nigga, with the you know with the pistol out, nigga.
Yeah.
That little dance right there. When you see them niggas doing that, that's the demon babies. The niggas that be doing all that shit.
Yes.
Yeah, them niggas will give you your
that's-
issue for sure.
That's how you know.
They give you an issue. Dancing with the Glock out is just hilarious though. Like think about that. Like where we at in our culture where niggas is dancing with the pistols out?
I used to be terrified of blocks when I'd see grown men on like small BMX bikes and shit. That was just always a
Yeah,
sign to me like, oh, I'm in a neighborhood. This isn't the one.
yeah,
When grown men was on those type of bikes.
yeah.
Now it's right in the air. Like,
No.
oh, that's a gun and he's dancing. I know that dance.
That's what I'm saying.
I know
They
that
not even
dance.
hiding it no
Yeah.
more. It's like you
That
know he
dance
got it
was
on him.
just in a RICO trial.
Yeah. with the little body strap joints,
They
the
use-
body
Oh
cross.
my
What do you
God.
call it? Cross body bags. The
Yo,
yeah.
you know what I really got terrified? Not when I was around G-Unit and they was wearing real bulletproof vests. I'm terrified now because these young kids wear fake bulletproof vests as a fashion statement. That's why I'm terrified. Y'all really don't care about y'all lives. Because you could really put the Kevlar on and still have the same fashion statement.
Yeah.
You're wearing fake bulletproof vests while dancing with a pistol.
Well, you can't. Well, as crazy as it sounds, you can't have a real bulletproof vest.
I'm aware.
But you also
illegal.
can't have a
You can't also
gun.
have an illegal
Yeah,
pistol
I was about
while
to
you
say,
dance
but
on
you also
116th
can't-
Street.
Exactly. It's just crazy, man. I don't know, man.
Can someone explain the fake bulletproof vest trend to me? Somebody.
It's
I know it
just-
looks good on the dirt bike.
Yeah, it's just
But
for
if
the
you
look
fall on the dirt bike, that's not gonna
at all.
Not gonna help you at all.
No, it's just for the look. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I can understand why the young dudes wear that shit. It's for the look.
I walked into the Donda show. and
Everybody had a
I
Donda
thought there
vest
was.
on.
I thought it was a fucking bomb scare.
Yeah, no,
I turned around
just
like,
for
oh
the
shit,
look.
is this what SWAT is here?
no, it's just for the look. Security. It's yay security.
They had you buttoned up in one, Rory. Don't do that.
You had a Donda
Did
vest
not
on?
have a Donda vest on.
Oh, okay. Because if I'm letting you know now, if a pic surfaces of you in a Donda bulletproof vest, you're
Bro,
not gonna hear the end of it.
I can assure you, I did not have a
all
Donda vest.
right, cool. That's all I'm asking. I'm just asking now before
I
a
can
pic surfaces.
assure you,
Okay, all right, I believe you.
I was the only one unprotected by the Lord.
By the Lord.
I did not have God's Kevlar surrounding me.
Yeah.
But I felt like if everyone else had them on and I was in the circle, they would block all the devil.
Okay. I don't
Well, they
know
couldn't
what
block
that means,
consequence, but other than that,
Yo.
they.
Yo.
but Here you
How
go.
come no one with a bulletproof vest stopped
Here
consequence?
you go. Here you go. You're gonna
See?
find a way.
I'll let him rock.
Anyways, there was something else I did want to talk about that I had on a list because not much happened really at all. But when does it ever? Oh, this was stupid, but I laughed. Who you taking, Jaheim versus Usher?
You know, I saw that and I started to text you because I didn't know if that was real or not. But we gotta pray for Jaheim.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a Donda
He-
bulletproof vest.
Yeah, he needs a Donda because who told him that was a good idea to put that out in the universe? Like who
Him.
was with him
Him.
and said, "Nah, I'm telling you, this is they want this."
Him.
They want this what the streets
And
want.
he said only the fans can get it done. It's on us now. Jaheim put it on us.
Listen, man.
He said he's right. He said, and he put a time on it. 1 month. That's all Usher gets. My favorite part of that entire caption was, yo, it's nothing personal.
No, this is 1,000% personal because you're the only one that wants to see this
He said,
happen.
Usher, nothing personal.
Listen, Jaheim has some records that we love.
Love Jaheim.
You know, he's had some moments on the internet where we laughed at him. He had some questionable, fashionable moments, and
He brought some light to a very dark time of Whitney's funeral. We were all
Yeah.
feeling it, and he
posted
brought
a picture,
some.
and we got a good joke out of that.
Yeah.
So
Whitney laughed at you too.
yeah, it's like, you know, we love Jaheim because it's like we love you. You know what I mean? You're from our culture. You've had some really dope records. But verses against Usher, Jaheim.
I mean, the person that gets ready for their friend's funeral and looks through the closet and goes, oh, purple. Probably not the brightest person.
No, but it's really a call for attention. That's what it really is. Like you want attention, you want you know, you want the eyes to be on you, you want the focus on you. It's really a call for attention.
sure.
That's all it is. But Jaheim, you have to understand that you will never be in a versus ring with Usher. It's never gonna happen.
I mean, he could do it. Like, he could play Usher's side. He could set up like 2 laptops. And
No,
like,
he can do it on his. He can do
perform.
whatever he wants from his home for sure. He will never be on the same stage with Usher. No, that's not gonna happen. And that, you know, and again, I like Jaheim. You got records that we listen to still,
For sure.
classic R&B records. But come on, man, Usher.
Who do you put against Usher then?
I think it would only be one person you could put against Usher, and that may be Chris Brown.
Okay.
That would be the only person that would be a worthy opponent.
Please ignore my white face when I say this. Justin?
No, I think Usher.
I think
I'd love to see that.
I think Justin is a better opponent for Usher than Chris Brown is.
Wait, Justin is a better opponent than Chris Brown? Fuck no.
Wow.
Hell no.
I think you sleeping on Justin a little bit.
No,
Robbie and River?
I'm not sleeping on Justin at all, but I think Usher cleans Justin up.
Usher cleans
Usher wins.
Chris up.
Usher wins. He
Well,
doesn't
Usher's
clean
Usher.
Justin up though.
But I'm saying a better opponent? Justin Timberlake? No. Okay, wait. Is Justin Timberlake playing NSYNC records?
Of course.
Justin Timberlake is playing all records.
Yeah.
I still think Usher gets him out of here, though.
Yeah, he
Oh no, I
definitely
think
does.
Usher beats Chris and Justin, but I
Chris
think
Brown got
Justin
a
is-
lot of fucking records, though.
He does, but he's got a lot of in the moment records. Like they was the biggest single that year, and then we stopped listening to them.
I mean,
He has a
that's all
lot of
you
timeless.
need.
He has a lot of timeless ones too. Don't get it twisted. But Usher has shit. Like you could play "Let It Burn" right now, and that's a point, and that wouldn't even be that high on Usher's 20.
Usher could play every single song on Confessions.
The only worthy opponent to me, I mean, Justin Timberlake is Justin Timberlake. He's a fucking legend. But I think Usher, Chris Brown. For the culture, Usher, Chris Brown.
Now, what would be interesting with that, and how they could add another element, and I know we always talk about verses, add performance to it. No. I'm not talking
Usher,
about. I'm not
Chris
talking
Brown.
about singing it. Like, dog, get your dancers, get your pyro, get
Usher-
your lights.
You don't want to
It's
see...
a-
Usher
it's
is
a
cleaning
fucking-
Chris Brown the fuck up.
Yo, y'all are tripping
Here's the
saying
thing.
that.
I
Chris
was about
Brown
to say,
is
I
not...
think that might have been what would help Chris.
Nah.
Yeah,
Chris
Brown,
gets busy. Of course,
Yeah,
Usher
like,
does.
Chris
We know that.
can dance. He can dance his ass off, but Usher has that Michael kind of
Chris
factor
Brown is
that
a better dancer than
control
Usher.
the whole
Chris Brown can
entire
still do
stage.
backflips right now, today.
Okay, he can dance, but dancing and performing is a completely different thing.
Y'all
Usher
tripping.
captures the audience. The way everything he does is so smooth. Chris gonna go on there, crump, backflip, okay, but it's not.
Nah,
it's
y'all
a
got
different
Chris
kind of
twisted.
I think you got Chris
experience.
fucked
Y'all
up,
got
man.
Chris fucked up.
I think y'all got Breezy
Y'all
fucked
got-
up.
Yeah, y'all got Chris fucked up. Chris Brown? Nah, man. Chris Brown is a fucking entertainer, performer, whatever you want to call it. Chris
Okay.
Brown is one of them, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Listen.
And I love Usher. I love Usher, but Chris Brown is a better dancer than Usher. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I
you
think,
could define better dancer.
He dances better.
yeah. I don't know how you want me to break that down. His 1-2 step, he lands on the balls of his feet better. I don't know what the fuck you want me to tell you, but you have to think that Chris Brown is a better dancer. Usher's a phenomenal entertainer and dancer as well. That's why I think
For
those
sure.
two would be.
But I think Usher's a better performer. The dancer, we got a dancer.
You think
right here.
Usher's a better entertainer? Well, Usher's now is I seen at his Vegas residency. He's on stage performing and roller skating. That's some
Like,
super
come
fly
on,
shit.
bro.
That's some super fly shit. Like to not fall, like to to be on.
And it's so smooth.
Yeah,
Do
like
that. I just seen Rocky Thunder in Tao at the Halloween party on skates, and she didn't fall once. Drink in her hand.
but that was but she doing.
Shit, it was a whole crowd too. She had to skate through.
But was she
You know how
doing
hard
the
it is
moves?
to walk through Tao? Imagine being on roller skates.
How did Rocky get down the steps?
I have no idea.
Wow, that's impressive.
This was it was years ago on Halloween, and I was like, Rocky, do you have shoes? She's like, nah, I'm on skates.
Nah, you gotta that when you got them on, you gotta have them on.
Skated down 8th.
Skating down 8th is hilarious. Yeah, no, but I Usher he's a legend, man, obviously. But I think Chris Brown is a better dancer though. Like I think Chris is he just won. I mean, they won in the same. I don't know.
This is such a mid 2000s podcast. We
You
started
know,
with
right.
debating Carter 3 classics.
Well, we're going from the 80s and we
we
we're
went
going-
through.
yeah.
Then we kept it P.
Yeah,
I can't say the
stop
new.
saying that.
I can't. I'm so bad at the new
Yeah,
slang.
stop saying that. Don't say that again.
What's so crazy is some of the people that make this slang are older than me,
Is
and
Gunna
they
older
just
than you?
no, but they just appear.
But their target audiences.
Yeah, they
older than
appear
you.
like they're younger than me.
I'm getting old, man.
You know how hard
You
it is for me to
old, I
say
don't know
cap.
I'm
Yeah.
old, man. I'm getting old, man.
Cap is tough for me to say.
Cap? No cap?
Yeah, like I say it jokingly. I mocked it's lit so much that now I say it's lit, and I mean it.
We should bring like the old slang.
That's dope,
It's a movie.
fresh.
Yeah.
It's a movie. Was
It's a Zoovie.
nah,
I
the
hated
Zoovie
it.
was the
Don't ever say that in my presence again.
Nah.
When niggas was saying
The
Zoovie,
fucking
Zoovie.
yo, bro, that was the nastiest era
The
ever.
zoo in the movie.
Nah, get the fuck out of
Yo,
here
when
with
they
that
used
shit,
to,
man.
this might have been Facebook era going into Instagram. When Movie and Zoovie wouldn't do it, then they added hashtag unwalkable. And I'm like, why would I want to go there?
See, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know what the fuck.
See,
I
when
don't
you let
know
niggas
what
do
we're
something,
talking
they just go too far. Unwalkable.
Why would I want to be? I want to walk.
Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere where I can't move. I'm not going there. Zoovie. I want to know who the fuck.
He was
like,
in a Zoovie though. He was in a couple Zoovies.
Was I in a couple Zoovies?
You was in a lot of Zoovies.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in a Zoovie.
You was in a Zoovie.
Cause see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's certain parties you go to, and you're like, this party was incredible.
You was in Canal Room when it was a Zoovie.
Canal Room was some good times.
Exactly. It was a Zoovie in Canal Room.
I'm not saying that. You trying to get me to say Zoovie, and I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. I want to know who was the first person to say Zoovie. Those are the people we need to sit and interview.
A promoter that gets girls drunk so he has an opportunity to try to sleep with them while they're intoxicated. That's who makes up those terms.
Zoovie?
Yeah, 100%. We got to get into promoters one day.
Promoters? Huh.
We may need to do away with promoters.
Are there still promoters?
Of course.
Really?
They're working harder than they ever have before. No one wants to go outside.
The only promoter
They got to like really promote now.
Yeah.
They can't just call the bad bitch at the time and be like, she's bartending. Like they have to promote.
Who's some of the promoters in New York right now?
I don't fuck with them.
No, but I'm
Oh, damn.
Okay, my bad.
I was
Rory.
I
like-
really don't even know who the
Yeah,
promoters are.
that's what I'm saying. I don't even know who the promoters in the city
Well,
are
nothing
anymore.
is going on in New York right now. Do we even have a New York spot? This is a very New
Yeah,
York podcast.
yeah.
But
Harbor is where everyone goes now. Harbor's the club
And there's no
spot.
promoter there.
Nah, you just, I mean, and you never need to know the promoter. If you hang out in bad neighborhoods, you just know security and security will let you in.
Yeah.
If you got to go to the promoter, you kind of a lame, actually.
I don't know.
Security is how you really get it.
I don't even know if clubs still need. I think you still need promoters at certain venues because certain venues still like to keep it like a kind of certain crowd,
Oh, for sure.
a certain mix of people. But I don't know if promoters are
That's
really.
a door person, though. Sometimes the promoter will be the door person, but that's really what, like, Pergola's a spot that's lasted this long. They don't need a promoter anymore. It's going to be packed with reservations every single day. They need someone at the door to be like, nah. And you may know that person. That doesn't really make them a promoter. I'm sure Harbor has promoters, though.
now you got the red Decembers on. We ain't letting you in.
That's a Carl thing, man. I'm going in with Crocs. So,
Oh, shout out to Slay. I finally got my Crocs.
oh,
Yeah, I busted. I busted.
I bought mine today.
You didn't? He didn't send you yours?
No.
Nah. You sure?
They might be in my old address.
I was gonna say the.
I'm
old
about to
address,
say, yeah. Nah, he definitely sent them for sure.
Oh, I'm going to be
Because
tight.
I bust one of the boxes open last week, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I'm going to my old address after this.
Yeah, it was a Soleil. He sent me the Crocs. So shout out to Soleil. Man, them shit is fire.
They're comfortable.
I
Yeah.
legitimately bought them this morning.
Yeah, he definitely sent them to you.
All right, well, now I have two pairs.
Yeah, he definitely.
I hope he didn't
them
send me
to
the brown ones because I bought the brown ones.
you. He sent me the white ones.
Okay. Those are incredible.
Yeah, no, those are super comfortable.
I want
like
to see
what he
you
did
in
with
Crocs.
them.
That's going to be funny.
Airport flow. No,
you
nothing
not
but
gonna wear them
airport.
to the pod?
No way.
What? Next
Never.
episode.
Never. Cause those ain't for just moving around the city. Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
If I'm getting in the car going to the airport and
Heels gonna be
traveling,
so dirty.
But you,
Yeah.
I mean, your feet don't touch the ground. You go from Uber to studio to crib. Like,
yeah,
you don't move around the city.
yeah, no,
you
but
would
I-
never.
I still don't want to have no Crocs on in the city. Nah, I just can't, man. I'm from a
In
different era.
January.
Yeah, I'm not.
With snow on the ground.
Nah, I'm not doing that. But airport, I can't wait to take another trip and throw those on for sure.
Just to take a trip, just throw them
Airport,
on.
yeah, just the airport. I just want to be. I like because you never know how much walking you're doing until you get to the airport,
I always get
and then
the
you're like,
gate
oh
that's
my
an hour
god.
away.
Yeah, and flying out of New York, sometimes LaGuardia, you never know which terminal they're gonna have you going out of,
Word.
and that shit is all over the place. But yeah, shout out to Salehi. It was something else I wanted to talk
Speaking
about.
of Slade, which I guess kind of connects in an internal way, Jay Electronica told me that if you do not come to the show tonight, you are an open enemy to the NOI and you are deemed a white man.
Well, I
That's
guess
an exact quote from Jay Electricity.
I guess I gotta go to the show tonight. Like I don't want to be a white man. Like so, I guess I gotta go see him perform tonight. I didn't even know he was performing. Until
Yeah.
you told me that.
He had a show when that hurricane hit New Orleans was that October or November
Mhm.
of last year, and he canceled it because he went down to help with his family and everything. So
Okay.
they pushed it to now. So
Shout out to Jay. Like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go check him out. I've never seen Jay Electronica perform live. Actually, now that I think about it,
I think maybe at SOBs like years and years and years ago.
I've never seen him live.
Let's make this more New York. Is SOBs open?
I would
Is it
think
still
so, right?
closed?
I think it is. No, I think
They
I think
doing
it's open.
performances?
I think I've seen somebody on my timeline. Huh?
We
Yeah,
might,
I think
we might have to do a pop up show just for the love, for the
Oh,
culture.
I think that would be so dope.
Yeah, that's
we like. I know everyone kind of grows up, if you will, and thinks they're above SOBs because they did it when they were younger. Like SOBs is a fucking staple to New York City.
Absolutely.
I kind of hate when people do that like lowbrow shit. Like, oh, you doing your shit at SOBs or like, fam, you was there all the time. This is how you started too.
Yeah.
Like,
no, SOBs
what,
is
like,
dope. You can never, if you from New York, you definitely should always perform in SOBs at some point.
yeah,
I don't care how big of an artist you are. SOBs is just one of those spots that you continue to go to and just show love to, for sure.
yeah. I hope it's open.
But where's
It is
Jay?
open.
It is.
Yeah,
Good.
I think it's Jay Leck is at where? Sony Hall?
Sony Hall.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna definitely go through to that. Shout out to Jay Leck.
Yeah,
by the
man.
way. I just I was listening to the album with him and Hove. I hate saying that because it's Jay Leck's album, but it's him and Hove.
It's a joint album.
Yeah, and I like it's as time goes on, I appreciate that album more. I know we kind of the sound
No,
and
y'all did.
the
I
mixing
like it.
and all of that. It was real raw, real like grimy sounding, but the lyrics are just and everything that Jay Leck and Jay was rapping about then is so relevant now.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So I was listening to that over the weekend too.
No, it's a
I do
really
that a
good
lot,
joint.
man. I go back and listen to a lot of old shit whenever new shit drops, just to kind of like see where the gap is at.
And get out of the moment of when it came out.
Yeah.
To see if, do I really like this
Mhm.
type of shit as a
Yeah.
stand up. Should we get into disappointing news? I was at dinner and got that sad news about Bob Saget.
Oh yeah, that was definitely some sad news to receive. Yeah, legendary comedic actor Bob Saget from one of my favorite shows growing up, Full House.
Staple of our childhood.
Danny Tanner passed away in Orlando at his hotel.
Mhm.
I'm whenever that happens, they have to investigate and they have to do an autopsy and things like that to figure out what happened. But prayers and condolences to his family, to his fans, his friends on his passing. I know he was just on tour. His tour just started.
Yeah.
So that's his fans I know was devastated to receive that news.
Caption was devastating too to even read of how excited he was. He was like, I'm
it's
back. Like, I love this shit again.
yeah. It was definitely like some really shocking news to receive. So prayers, condolences to Bob Saget, his family, and yeah, man, just sad news to receive.
And you gotta look at how good of an actor he is. To know
Mhm.
who he really is, and then to the role he played on Full House.
Yeah.
I was convinced he was playing an act once I found out he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
the dad from Full House.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, is he playing like some psychotic cursing drug addict?
Yeah, yeah,
And it was like, oh wait, that's who he was.
right. Yeah, he has a stand up on I think it may be on Netflix. He had a stand up I saw a few years ago, and now that's when I started to realize like, oh, Bob Saget is like funny for real.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he outside his small cameo on Half Baked, he was like a reoccurring character on Entourage and was fucking hysterical
Yeah.
on Entourage.
Yeah.
He was the best cameo reoccurring guest I thought they had.
Yeah.
Every single time he was hilarious on that shit.
Yeah, man. That was definitely some shocking news. So again, prayers and condolences to Bob Saget, his family. And yeah, man. Love your loved ones while they're here.
For sure. Also prayers to everyone affected by the fire in the Bronx.
Yeah, absolutely. That was
19 dead, 9 children dead, 32 in critical.
Yeah, that was
65 injured. Like,
yeah, and that's my hood, man. That's 5 minutes from where I grew up at. So that was definitely some sad news. Again, man, these space heaters and people trying to be warm in the winter, it's causing, this is not I think we hear about this every winter. It's
Yeah.
like, space heater or, electrical fires in these homes and these apartments. But this is definitely, I think, the most deadly fire that the Bronx has seen since the Happy Land
yeah.
in the 80s. Sad. You talking about 9 kids, just to start the new year off, and it's just that was some sad news. And they have Mayor Eric Adams put up a website if people want to donate. They're asking for monetary donations only.
I saw there was another one where you could donate water, supplies, and everything with an address, I believe. We'll put everything in the description.
Yeah, definitely. So if you can, anything, man, just anything helps.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna sit here and ever pretend like I understand the city's budget, but I do understand human, and there needs to be some way where space heaters are not necessary in people's apartments. Just how I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I've had space heaters in my crib where I would like be scared to fall asleep without turning that shit off because you can see the fucking like flame in it, like, and it's
Mhm.
plastic. It's the worst invention and most dangerous thing you could literally have in your room, and everyone in every fucking apartment has one.
Yeah.
So,
Please be careful, man. Like,
yeah,
that's definitely like, you know.
or buildings need to find some way where they're not necessary. Like, you will be fine with heat
Yeah.
without having to purchase a space heater that more times than none is dangerous as fuck.
Yeah.
So
It's sad, man. Some more sad news, not to be, you know, super sad, but this one really bothered me. A teen working in Burger King in Harlem, 19-year-old teen, Crystal Bayron Nieves, was shot and killed Sunday morning in East Harlem Burger King. A guy came in and robbed the Burger King and ended up shooting and killing her.
Jesus.
Yeah, now that was just super sad because the mother was saying how the daughter, she didn't feel safe working the overnight shift,
Mhm.
and that she didn't want to go, and the mom woke her up at 10 o'clock at night and was like, you know, you got to be responsible,
Oh shit.
got to
Yeah.
keep a job, you got to
Mhm.
make money, and basically forced her daughter to go to work, and you know, unfortunately, her daughter ended up being killed that night.
Well, I hope the mother doesn't carry that. She was really.
It's tough, man,
That's the
because you know you
question.
understand the mom. She
Yeah.
she wants her daughter. She wanted her daughter to be, you know, responsible and work hard and, you know, and have her own means of income and things like that. But you know, away from that, because we understand that part. We understand parents wanting us to, you know, make our own way and have our own, you know, stream of income. But we got to do something with this culture, man. With you know, men robbing and shooting women like that. I just don't understand how somebody, you know, shoots a woman, a 19-year-old woman working a shift at a fast food restaurant. Like I just
It was
don't
not a threat to your robbery.
yeah, like
I
I don't
promise.
I don't get it, man. And you know, it seems like there's not the consequences are not harsh enough. You know, with these gun laws and, you know, robbing and killing and, you know, sometimes jail sentence is not enough. Sometimes, you know, like these dudes don't even, half the time they're not even caught.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's just something has to change, man, because that story, I don't notice this young lady, you know, being from the city. I just, you know, I'm in East Harlem. I'm in Harlem
Yeah.
all the time. So you just feel like a sense of that community. Like I'm always in these areas. And that shit really bothered me reading that story. Like 19 years old, working in Burger King, just trying to make some money. Somebody comes in overnight, robs you, you give him the money. She gave up the money and he still shot and killed her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just don't I don't understand, man. And something has to change. I don't know what it is. I don't have the answers, but something has to change in this culture. Like
And
we got to start.
What was the dollar amount?
I believe it was $100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
was
don't.
gonna say,
I was
like,
gonna say they
you're
don't.
not gonna keep. They don't keep
too
shit
much
in there
money
to
in the
begin with.
Yeah,
register.
over and especially overnight. You know,
That's
the
exactly-
manager
exactly.
empties the registers for the money they made during the day before the overnight shift anyway. So yeah, just that shit really hurt me. Prayers to the Nieves family. Prayers to Crystal. But yeah, man, I hope they find
Yeah.
find the guy that did that because
That's
he
some
needs
sick
to
shit. I'm
be
sure the
somebody
neighborhood
that's
will.
locked away out of society for sure.
I'm sure someone knows him.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They had the video up and, you know, everything like that, but it's sad, man. It's
Yeah.
19 years old, you shooting killer's girl for what? I just don't understand it, man. Like shit like that, I just don't. I understand mental health and all of these things people like to throw on these, you know, perpetrators and shit like that, but mental health is not enough for me. I'm sorry. Like shooting
I
and
can
killing a
understand that.
19-year-old girl.
Definitely understand that.
You can't just tell me mental health, he's mentally ill, and I don't want to hear that shit. Like that's just somebody that doesn't need to be a part of society. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. He doesn't need to be a part of society. But
I
prayers to
understand
her
what you're saying.
family. I hope that they catch him. And again, prayers and condolences to the Nieves family in that community.
For sure. Was there anything we missed? Because I know not much did happen while we were gone.
Have you heard that "Hours and Hours" song by Money Long?
Yeah, of course.
By who?
"Hours and Hours."
Yeah, she's dope. She's a very talented writer.
Yeah, I did a deep
prior to
dive into
that.
her, and I was like, she wrote literally my two favorite Rihanna songs in the whole world. She wrote them both, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
What's her name?
Money Long. She used to be known as Priscilla Renee.
Yeah, she's super talented. I'm glad she's getting her.
Her name is Money Long now?
Yeah, but it's
Mhm.
spelled
That's funny.
M-U-I.
M-U-N-I Long.
Yeah, it's spelled differently.
Okay,
but
I
yeah,
see a little
she's-
artistic way of.
No, but she's like a lot of those writers that get their shot, and she's taking full advantage of it right now.
Dope.
She's killing every TikTok you could fucking think of, and the music is really good too. The project is why am I blanking?
It is called
fucking
Public
Weekend.
Displays of Affection.
There you go. Yeah,
I'll
PDA.
check that out.
It's really good. The Hours and Hours joint. I'm sure you've heard it and didn't even
You've
realize you heard
definitely
it
heard
because
it.
it's fucking
There's
everywhere.
no way you didn't hear it.
But she's super talented, and I just like to see writers like finally get their time to come out.
Right.
The way Esther Jean did,
Victoria.
Victoria Monet, what Kirby I think is now getting her shot too. Like I just like to see that type of shit
Yeah.
because those are
Nisha.
the real talented people. Like sometimes you gotta not write for other people.
Mm-hmm.
That chapter's over.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Shout out to Kyrie. Kyrie is back.
yes,
He played his first away game. Looked
didn't
good.
sneeze or cough.
Yeah, he looked good.
Sanitized.
He didn't miss a beat. So shout out to Kyrie. Welcome back. Welcome back, Klay Thompson.
Yes,
He came
That was
back
great, man.
last night. He looked good in his return. So yeah, man, the NBA starting to feel like it's. You could tell when it's the guys are back.
do you think the Warriors get another shot at? I'm talking dynasty time again, not just winning again. Of course, there's a world where they can win again, but back to where they were.
Yo, listen, man. We gotta start. We gotta reshuffle that top 5 ever soon. If Klay gets
What way?
another ring, I mean not Klay. If Steph gets another ring, we gotta shuffle that top 5 around, man. It's gonna
What's
be
he at
hard
now?
to keep
3 or 4?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he gets another ring, man, it's gonna be hard to keep Steph Curry out of your top 5 ever.
I think you could make a case now, but
I wasn't gonna say that, but okay.
I know I'm not the sports guy, so
Yeah,
they'll
no,
kill
I
me and
get
tell me
it.
to shut the fuck
I get
up.
it. No, I get no, but
Jason,
listen,
just
man.
based off stats, I don't know why you couldn't make
Listen,
a case
man.
now.
Steph Curry get another ring. Yeah,
How old is Steph? 32?
32, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, he's got time.
Yeah.
He's got time.
I think they get one this year.
I think it's very doable.
I think they get one this year. I think it's between it's gonna be hard, with the Kyrie thing is still, a little tricky as far as just away games only, but KD, Steph, and I think Chris Paul. I think the Suns, the Warriors, and the Nets are the 3 favorites to win the title this year. And if Steph Curry gets another ring, man, like yeah, it's gonna be hard to keep him out of your top 5.
Mhm.
It's gonna be extremely hard. Like you got to reshuffle that top 5 deck. Emily in Paris. We got 2
No.
more seasons, Rory.
Oh my God.
So you have to watch because you didn't finish season 1.
I didn't finish episode 2.
This is what I'm saying. You got to get on board with this thing. It's taking off, Rory.
Euphoria's out. I don't need to watch Emily. in
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into
Yes.
Euphoria. Me and Demaris was talking about it. I definitely got to get into Euphoria. But Emily in Paris is official. Season 3 and 4. They just confirmed will happen. So I don't know, Rory, man. I don't want to leave you at the station, but I will.
Listen,
Get
are we
on
gonna have
board.
to do a Zoom
Get on board.
podcast? Are you gonna move to
I
Paris
might.
for both seasons?
I don't know, man. I might. Emily might be
Yeah.
calling me.
They shoot that shit in Vancouver. You know they shoot that shit somewhere else.
So silly.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Emily in Paris. Season 3 and 4 has been confirmed.
Euphoria last night, season 2, episode 1.
Yeah, I gotta watch
Did you,
that.
did you see it? Rory?
Yeah, I did.
Wasn't it amazing?
It was incredible. I have to deal with my mentions being flooded that I
Of
look
you
like
look like
Fez
Fezco?
again. This is
Yeah.
gonna happen
Mhm.
as it did for the entire season 1 and after.
It's okay.
But I had to catch up because how long ago was season 1?
Like 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
that was
Yeah,
a
it
while
felt
ago.
like it was a long time ago. So
Mhm.
I had to catch up on my little Wikipedia shit prior to because they didn't give me the solid what happened last time shit.
Mhm.
But stuff was starting to come back. But I liked episode 1 and not spoiling like Spider-Man.
Thank you, Jesus.
It was cool to get into Fez's background in the beginning and then back
I'm gonna
to
go
the
see
storyline.
Spider-Man this week. I'm gonna go see it. I have to.
I will go with you. So you don't go
Go,
alone.
D.
So you don't go alone.
D, that's why
I
you
swear
my.
to God,
See,
I'll
that's
go
why
with
you
you.
keep it P, D.
You guys should do a double date. Like you guys should each bring somebody and then
That would be
and then we could
Hilarious.
discuss it.
That would
on
be
the
hilarious. That would be
podcast.
fucking comedy. Are you kidding me?
Me and Carl coming.
Look, now it's 6 people. Yeah,
And
I'm
we
gonna
didn't forget
see it.
about you. You're just not in the room.
I'm gonna go see it, man. I'm gonna go see Spider-Man because I've definitely been wanting to see it.
I wanted to see it again, and I will go with you just so that you're not
What-
alone.
What you thought about Euphoria?
I love you for
I'm
it.
gonna start spoiling it soon. First episode 1, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But people, by episode 3, I'm gonna start actively talking about what's going on in the show.
Well, Zendaya had to release a statement because she's straight off the helm of Spider-Man, which is kind of more kid. She has a lot of kid fans now.
She did.
Well, she
before,
always had.
yeah, that's where she started.
But her fans were growing with her. Now
Yeah.
she's reintroducing herself to a younger audience, and she had to say, you know, this is for mature audiences. I know it's filmed in a high school, but this is not. This is.
Yeah.
We're adults, and we're like, oh, this is interesting. Like, it's a lot. There's so much nudity. So much nudity in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I like
a lot of
Euphoria.
dicks.
A lot of dick. Well, they had a lot of tits last season, so they kind of even it out.
I was excited. They started with titties, and they even had pussy. I think at the beginning
Yeah, they were.
with a stripper. I was like, oh, they're going for it this
Yeah.
season. And then it was like dick, 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 dick. I was like, all right, man, never mind.
Let me find something else to watch. Righteous Gemstones. Did you ever watch that with Danny McBride?
Was that what he's an assistant principal?
No. That's the. He's always got those type of roles. No, this is one where his family is like the televangelist, and
No, I need to watch that.
no, you never.
I'd love
watch
him.
season 1.
I mean,
Season 2
Eastbound
just
and Down
started.
is my fucking
Watch
favorite show.
season 1. Season 2 just started. Righteous Gemstones on HBO.
Oh, it's on
I'm glad
HBO,
it came
right.
back. Yeah, I'm glad it came back because to me that show was underrated. A lot of people weren't talking about Righteous Gemstones, and that show was really funny. Season 2 just started, so I definitely got to watch that.
Yeah.
That and Euphoria. So now I got some more TV to watch.
Yeah, like TV is back. I felt like for a while it was a lot of just random Netflix movies or docs.
Trying to
Like,
find
I
shit.
like that
TV.
TV series that have already been established. Seasons are now coming back like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because I got a bunch of shit to catch up on. Euphoria though, they're bodying that shit. That cast is incredible.
Yeah. I love Zendaya. Love her.
And like, listen, I thought my high school was wild. They're fucking crazy.
My high school was nothing like that.
Yeah, I wasn't. I went to my high school was majority black. I didn't deal with the shit they were dealing with. They're
Yeah.
tripping.
It's just a different time.
I
for
don't
me.
mean wild. I'm just meaning like general, like just general wilding. You could have your different degrees of wilding, no matter what location of the world you're in, whatever you want to do. They're just wilding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're fucking wilding.
I'm gonna check it out. I like Zendaya.
But it makes me jealous. I kind of always wanted to go to a really, really large because really, really large high schools that like have the space to be large, not like New York City large high schools.
Mhm.
They tend to be like that, like wild and big wild parties. And you got the rich kid with the millionaire parents who are never home. They're throwing parties and shit.
Mhm.
I always wanted that experience.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season of Euphoria. It was a good start. So catch up.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I like that show.
You would
Ketchup,
enjoy it.
mustard.
Is there anything else we didn't cover?
Mm-mm.
We're back in a few days.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see the before I go to the JLX show. I'm gonna go see the Knicks tonight, man.
Okay.
Spoke to Julius the other night, man. They got to get their shit together. They've been struggling.
Can I get 2 tickets?
You want to go tonight?
I would like to go.
Not tonight, but next game I would love to. Carl
okay.
said right away.
I'll
I'm there.
link. Like,
Hey, I
yeah.
gotta go back to Jersey and do some stuff before the show.
No, I'll definitely get some tickets for. I'll look at the schedule and ask Julius for some tickets. But yeah, man. Another week.
Yeah.
Another weekend in the can. How's your New Year's? How's the start to your New Year? Your resolutions are down the drain already?
Of course. That's why
Yeah.
you don't make any.
Yeah. I didn't make any.
Just try to survive.
Just hopefully
Make it to the next day.
Yeah, I want
Day
to
at a
see
time.
another one. I want to see another year.
For sure.
Well, yeah, man. We'll be back in a few days. I think we got. Do we have something coming up?
Probably, but that's Demaris will tell us.
Okay,
yeah.
we got something.
I won't tell you now. You'll forget. So I'll just tell you the day before.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, we got some shit coming up. So
There's still. I think there's some merch left.
There's a lot of merch left. Not a lot, but there's some stuff left.
Yeah.
there's some
Go get
merch
some merch.
left. Get some merch. Working on the Valentine's capsule now.
I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
What nasty shit you tell the women on this merch?
nah, man. We just trying to have some fun, man, with this merch thing. So yeah, Valentine's merch coming up. Some merch available now, and yeah. Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see y'all in a couple of days. We'll talk to y'all in a couple of days. Till then, be safe, be blessed, stay healthy, wash your hands, and wash your ass.